Okay, it's about 5 minutes later. That actually took a lot longer than I thought because a screwdriver can unscrew a screw and a wrench can loosen a nut on a bolt, but there is no equivalent tool for untying a knot that's been tied in this nylon webbing stuff and sat out for years. The webbing is still completely strong, but the knots were kind of tight. But it's no big deal. It's going to be way faster to retie those knots than to untie them like I just did. Then I also saw that there is a knot of this nylon webbing right here. This nylon webbing that goes spiral all the way up to the top, right? Holds the net. It holds this mesh netting tight to each pole, and so that's got to stay on there. I mean, I could take it off, but then you just have to put it back on. So I'm going to leave that on there, so when you get done, all you have to do is retie this webbing, this nylon webbing, but that's at each and every one of these 8 posts. So every one of those 8 posts has a nylon webbing that spirals up, and each time it spirals around up to the top, it grabs more of the mesh netting, so the mesh netting stays tight to the post, right? So it doesn't like flop all over. So I also threaded through here. You'll see there's a threaded bungee cord here that threads through that to the top as well. So it's really held on there very tightly. So kids that come flying to the edge and hit the netting really can't go very far at all. They'll go a couple inches, and that's as far as they'll go. So, but it means untying, not just unbolting this the post from this leg of the actual trampoline, but it also means untying this mesh netting, and that's is going to be, you'll retie this webbing, this nylon webbing, 10 to 100 times faster than I'll be able to untie it, because there is no tool. I just have to get in there and pick at it and untie it. So the ladder is gone. That just took 5, 10, 15 seconds to just pull it out of there. And now I've untied this part of one end of the webbing. I mean the mesh netting that goes all the way around. It's one continuous wall of net. Then it overlaps right here, and where it overlaps they give you a lot of extra mesh or nylon webbing at the bottom, so that comes off the end of here, and it'll just tie around here. I just tied it around here, wrapped it around several times, and tied it tight. Same thing on the other side. This is the bottom edge of the webbing that goes all the way around the mesh netting. So this webbing on the other side of the door, right, that's attached to the inside part. I just wrapped it around here a bunch of times and tied it. Next step, so this is going to take a while. I'm going to have to untie all of the nylon webbing for each one of these 8 posts, and it's going to take, I'm sure it's going to take a couple minutes for each one of those, because although the nylon webbing strap is still very strong, it's been sitting out here in the rain and the sun for 6 years or so, so the knots are just really tight. So when you reassemble this, you're going to reassemble it. All you have to do is wrap this. You'll see it's just wrapped around here. This nylon webbing strap is just wrapped around this joint a couple times and tied tight. That'll take you seconds for each one of these. It's going to take me a couple minutes for each one to untie.